This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hello and welcome to another edition of C2C Rankem. I'm the host, Big B, along with my co-host, halfway around the world, Tim Hendricks. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. Just celebrated my... Oh, gosh, now I got to do math. I didn't expect I was going to be doing math to myself. My 7th year here in Italy this past week.
All right. Cool. Congratulations over there.
But, other than that, I'm excited. We're back. I've got now I'm going to tell you, I've got a bunch of ideas for this show for the summer. So hopefully we can. Right. So one and the things we've never, and I know the things we've never done because I've gone back and checked.
Okay. All right. No, that's good. That's good to hear. And again, if you're watching us live or if you're watching the replay, you got ideas, throw them in the chat. Let us know. We'll definitely get going with them. So, but today we got 2 actresses, 2 actors, and then we got our top 5 overrated and underrated actors. And that one should be a fun one to really get into. So let's get into our first actress, Cameron Diaz. So let's see here. What do I think we got? She hasn't done many blockbuster hits, so this one could be. I'll go 3. I'll start off with 3.
I think 3 is a good number, considering what's considered her film debut. So yeah. Yep. 3's not bad.
All right, well, kick it off.
My number 5. If you've got this on your list, I'll be absolutely incredibly shocked. But it was a movie I watched. She plays alongside James Marsden and Frank Langella. It's funny because it brings up the movie brings up a question that if you were to give and I think the question's been asked to us before, that if you push a button, you get $1 million. If you push a button and you'll get $1 million, but if you push the button, somebody dies, somebody you don't know dies. I've been waiting for that question to be made into a movie, and they made it. I want to say they made it like 12, 13, 14 years ago. I think it's a great movie. I think a lot of people should watch it. It really it really works that question really well. My number 5 is The Box.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that was made 2009. Like you said, that's always a good movie or a good question. Again, if it's somebody you don't know, a lot of people are probably going to take that million. And now if it's a family member or a close friend, then they think about it. So, well, my number 5, as we're getting close, ramped up to the NFL season, I think she played a heck of a GM in this movie. Kind of had a little attitude.
Did she play the GM or did she play the owner?
Owner. You're right. Owner. Any Given Sunday. So I thought she played a different character for her. Different, she had kind of an ego, and which fit her well. I think she done it well. So your number 4.
My number 4 is a 2-movie series where they based it off of a TV. I didn't say. Did I say TV series? I meant to say movie series. based off a TV series where she stars alongside two other beautiful women. I'm hoping my wife's not watching this because I have now just got myself murdered. She stars alongside Drew Barrymore and Lucy Liu, and with Eddie Murphy. I was going to say it too. I was going to say Eddie Murphy, but Bill Murray as Bosley. I thought it was good. It always comes back to the commercial. It always comes back to the trailer where she's where she's dancing in her underwear. I'm really now dead, so I'm hoping the wife isn't watching. This might be my last show. Demi Moore makes an appearance in the second one. I think it's just fun. They end up rebooting it, and the reboot wasn't all that great, but it was just a fun movie. And they really didn't do any damage to the TV series that brought us Farrah Fawcett and the others. But my number 4 is Charlie's Angels.
A good one. My number 3, again, I think this movie was made due to the saying that everybody says when they go travel to this lovely city. It stars her. It stars I can't think of his name now. Oh God.
Is he going to show up on my one of my other lists later? Probably.
No.
Probably.
Oh God. He was a 2.5 Men. He took over
no, I'm right again. You're thinking of Ashton Kutcher. I know who you're thinking of.
Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, Ashton Kutcher. God, I can't think of that. But again, you travel to Vegas, everything stays in Vegas. So great movie. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So yeah, so that's my number 4. Your number 3.
My number 3 is a movie that I remember seeing the trailer for the first time and going, "This is a movie that I need to see. I want to see. It's a must see." And then it seemed like it had gone into hiding for like 3-4 years. I remember seeing the trailer, starring a guy who's going to be on my list, on another list somewhere down the road in this show, on Leonardo DiCaprio. But it also stars Liam Neeson as DiCaprio's father, and it's probably the greatest living actor not named Tom Hanks to play such a great role with Daniel Day-Lewis. I remember seeing the trailer going, I need to see this movie, but then it just, like I said, it just falls off the face of the earth. And then when it happened, it's the only movie that I've ever seen that's on DVD that's in 2 DVDs. You've got a movie you got enough space on a DVD to fill with this movie, and you have to put it on two different discs. But my number 3 is Gangs of New York.
Oh, really? That's a 2-disc DVD.
Yeah.
All right. My number 3 is a classic. It stars Jim Carrey, of course, Cameron Diaz, Peter Green's in there. What can I say? It's The Mask. I mean, it's something that I think we all, if we could have that superpower, I think we'd all take it. You know. Your number 2.
My number 2. I just found out that they're doing a 5th of these in this series. When you find out that the original voice of the original main character was supposed to be Chris Farley, and then you find out that he passes away and they gave the role to Mike Myers. I think this is the movie that pretty much reinvigorated Eddie Murphy's career. Because I think his career was on a down low, and then all of a sudden he does a voice of a donkey, which is funny because at the time he was trying to be. It seemed like he was becoming what he was. He was becoming a jackass, and I think it was funny that he voices a donkey, and I think that's hilarious. But my number 2 is the Shrek series.
Yeah. Well, we'll kick it off here. At number 2, our first night, the phrase that pays. I have it too as the whole Shrek series. Yeah, what can you say? I mean, I think grown-ups enjoy that show or the movie. You know, I mean, they do a couple references to wrestling in that movie, which I think is hilarious.
They do.
Is the first one, yeah. So,
Which one?
all right, you're number one.
My number one is the phrase that pays. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. And my number one is your number three.
Oh, okay.
The first movie Cameron Diaz ever does, and it's The Mask.
Oh, that was her first one? I didn't realize that one.
Yep.
I did not realize that was her first one. My number one is
What did I miss?
well, I don't know. It's got a good group of stars in there. Let me see. Let me pull up the casting list here.
Of course, it's gonna blow me away and screw me up, right?
No, it's not gonna blow you away. I mean, you definitely seen it. It's got Cameron Diaz. It's got Ben Stiller, Matt Damon. Are the main ones.
Oh, no,
there's something about Mary. You know, of course, I think Ben Stiller's the big guy there because I mean he does some things that zippers up and get something caught in there. I don't know how they came up with that one, but
then there's that reference of a certain quarterback that shows up.
Yep, Brett Favre. That's a great line in that movie.
Yep, I'm a Niners fan. Yeah, like shut down. It's like do that.
Well, watch that. Not even that one, but the one where he shows up with Mary and Chris Elliott's character goes, Brett Favre, what are you doing here? I'm playing the Dolphins, you asshole. So, yeah. So we got two. Let's move over to, probably some of the people's top 10 or top 5 male actor. Some may move them up to 1. I don't know. Tom Hanks would be a hard one there, but I got John Travolta John Travolta here for our first male actor. He's done a lot. I gotta stick with 3 because he's done so much that you could argue a lot of different ways. All right, you're going 3-2. All right. Who we got? Is this Ryan's comment here?
No, that's my cousin. That's my cousin.
That's your cousin. Hey guys, well, hello, Teresa. So, all right, I'm going to go with number 5, a classic. Outside of another movie, or actually, outside of a couple other movies, this is the first movie I think of when anytime you talk about John Travolta. There's a couple songs in there too that pop on the radio that you hear, and you just think of the movie. And if you've seen it many times, you kind of watch it in your mind. My number 5 is Urban Cowboy.
Ooh, you went with Urban Cowboy.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
All right, you're number 5.
So my number 5. I matter of fact, it was hilarious that I put this on and I had to go back and rewatch the movie because and it wasn't quite what I was expecting, but it's got I completely forgot this movie and I had it on my list and I remember how good it was and then I remembered how great it was after I watched it again. Gene Hackman plays a movie director where he's just a smarmy, not cool of a guy where he owes a bunch of money, and John Travolta plays his character by the name of Chili Palmer. Absolutely hilarious. If I put both there because it's technically a series, it's a couple movies. It's technically the first movie that The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is in the second one. I love it. I think this is such an underrated John Travolta movie. I love it. But I remember watching the second one so much and just absolutely getting a kick out of it between Vince Vaughn and the conversations between Vince Vaughn and Dwayne Johnson in the second one. Danny DeVito playing the typical Hollywood actor in both of them. My number 5 is the Get Shorty series.
Yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch those. Everyone said they're good. I don't know. Maybe at the time I just couldn't get into them. But here's another movie. I got in a movie too that I know I probably seen, just could get into it, but I know it's a classic. A lot of people like it. Like I said, it's not my type of genre, but at number 4, I got Pulp Fiction.
I'll give you that one. It's not your type of thing. I get it. I get it.
You're number 4.
My number 4, originally what people don't know on this show on is that originally the person who was supposed to be in Bruce Willis's spot was Nicolas Cage. And we're not sure if we need to do better accounting notes about Nicolas Cage. But when I saw this Nicolas Cage, John Travolta movie, to me, I thought it was brilliant. I thought they do it now. I think it'd be a bigger masterpiece. What can you say about it? It really makes you think. I think it's a John Woo movie too, which makes it even better. My number 4 is Face Off.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm trying to watch. But yeah, that's another good one. My number 3, again, this movie has a stunning cast. Christy Alley, Bruce Willis, of course, John Travolta. And I think if you do more, go into the next movie. I think it's Danny DeVito. I think in the second one, but
Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, Roseanne Barr. I got Look Who's Talking, but I mean the whole series is good too. So, but yeah, Look Who's Talking. You're number 3.
Well, it's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 3 is your number 3. Look Who's Talking.
Oh wow! I'm kind of surprised you actually had that one on there. I didn't think you would have that on there.
Well, the first one, to me, the first one was so hilarious and so great. The second one was good, but then it just started to take such a nosedive after a while.
Yeah,
but
you couldn't do too many more. My number 2 is probably one of his 2 best movies. I think a lot of John Travolta fans would probably be a good debate. My number 2 is Saturday Night Fever.
You've officially sniped me how many times? I just need to know.
This will be I got 2 right now.
Just on John Travolta. Just on Travolta.
No, one on Travolta. Right? That's all we've had. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and give you number 2 at this point. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 2 is your number 4. It's the movie that put John Travolta back on the map.
Yeah.
The back and forth between Samuel Jackson and John Travolta in that movie is it's amazing. It's not going to be. I don't think this is going to be the last time we hear this movie for me on this show.
Yeah, you're probably right. Well, we'll give credit to Teresa here for getting my number 1. Right. She sniped me. I got Grease at number 1. That, to me, I can watch, a few times a week. I can't say I can watch it every time, but I can watch it a few times over and over again, and I have. So, you're number 1.
Well, I have now been sniped by 2 people. I wasn't old enough to watch it in the movie theater for the first time it came out, but my brother's girlfriend at the time thought it'd be cool that she wanted somebody to go see the 25th anniversary version of the movie and I said I would do it, and I did, and yeah, my number 1 is Grease.
Yeah, that cast is just
it's the Bee Gees. It's Bee Gees music. It's just
Yep. All right, so we got 3 there. Just in case anybody's scoring at home, because I don't lead too many times. I got 4 to Tim's 1 snipe. So let's go to Debbie Moore. Another one that, to me, I think she's done a lot, but looking at her movies, she didn't do as many as I thought she did.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. Believe me.
Yeah. So, I'm going to go. I gotta stick with 3. I just think.
I think
one I didn't know she was in, and I actually kind of enjoyed the movie. So.
I'm thinking 4.
Okay, we could do 4.
I think
That's kind of where I was hinkering too. So, what she got? What?
She's happy that she sniped us at 1.
Oh, okay, I'm like, those look like tacos. Are you like inviting us for dinner or something?
Oh.
All right, go ahead with your number 5.
My number 5. When you realize it's not about what you think it is, but yet you kind of cringe just in case you say the name of the movie and you go, and it's not really what it is, and then you realize that Burt Reynolds is in the movie too, and you realize that he's a real smarmy jerk in this movie. It's like him in this movie and him in what was that other? Oh man, there was the one where Mark Wahlberg plays a porn star, Boogie Nights, and it's but when you realize it's not about what the title is.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but I can't watch that with my wife because my wife's going to say no because no. But it's easier not to. It's easier just to say no, we're not watching it than to try to explain that's not what it's about. Yeah. My number 5 is Striptease.
Okay. My number 5 is a movie that honestly I did not like the TV series. I watched it a little bit here and there, but I think the movie really got me into watching the TV series back in the day. And Debbie Moore is a part of it. My number 5 is Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Oh, yeah. Holy smokes. Funny thing is, another person on this list could be on that show.
Yep. I'm just looking at the cast, too, and they got. I mean, that movie has a stunning cast too. I mean,
yeah, it's strange how many people are in that cast.
Yeah, your number 4.
My number 4. It's strange when you talk about a star-studded cast. You look at this cast and you go, and Demi Moore's on it because and you do understand why Demi Moore's on this. At the time, she was the hottest working actress in the business.
Yeah.
And it's crazy when you're the only female lead up against Kevin Bacon, Tom Cruise, Kevin Pollak, Jack Nicholson. And you go, how do you fight again? How do you fight for air on screen time for that? And somehow she did it, and people forget that she's in this movie. But it comes up with some of the best lines you've ever hear in a movie.
Oh,
it's absolutely brilliant. And when you realize that when Tom Cruise is acting Jack Nicholson, and when they angle it one way, it's Kevin Bacon over his left shoulder, over his right shoulder. When they angle it the other way, it's Demi Moore over his right shoulder or his left shoulder. It's one of the two shoulders, but they're on opposite shoulders. I love this, and I'm still trying to die. And it's funny, before Mountain Dew came out with a Code Red, and then Mountain Dew heard Tom Cruise ask Jack Nicholson if he ordered the Code Red, and then I laugh at it now because I know Mountain Dew did something called the Code Red, and you're damn right I ordered the Code Red. I'm like, how Mountain Dew didn't figure out how to make that into an ad campaign is brilliant. Yeah. But my number 4 is A Few Good Men.
See, this is where Tim makes his comeback. At number 4, I got A Few Good Men too with that. That's another cast that I mean, you named them all off. I mean, another stud-studded cast. So you're number 3.
My number 3. This is the curveball. I have a curveball finally on something.
Ooh.
I watched
At number
this
3 too.
at number 3 because I think this movie's brilliant. I absolutely think this movie's so brilliant because you look at. I want you to when I tell you the name of this movie, I want anybody and everybody who's watching the name of this movie, who's watching this. When I say the name of this movie, I want you to look at Dan Aykroyd's nose in the movie poster because you're going to look at it and go, "That's a penis." I guarantee it. You're going to look at it and you're going to say that's a penis. But you're looking at a movie with Chevy Chase, John Candy. Again, at this time, we're talking about the late '80s with the who's who of comedy in Hollywood at the time. You're looking at Chevy Chase. You're looking at John Candy. You're looking at Dan Aykroyd, and then you put Demi Moore in this. I think it's absolutely funny. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. My number 3 is Nothing But Trouble.
All right. Nothing But Trouble.
Here it comes, because somebody's going to go, I told you, somebody's going to look at that. And you're going to look at Dan Aykroyd and go, what in the hell?
I know.
It should be right there on the movie poster.
Clark Griswold.
Chevy Chase. Huh. I don't see it. I'll have to look closer at it.
If you don't see it, watch the movie because you can't take your eyes off of it. when he finally sits on the bench, I go, that can't be on TV. I don't think that's allowed.
We're at number 3, right?
Yep.
All right. Well, the phrase that pays again. You had it at 5. I have it at 3. Striptease. Like you said, it's not about the act. I mean, yes, there is scenes in there, but it's more an inside story of that. So, but yeah, that's number 3. You're number 2.
My number 2, I think we've had this on 2 other people's lists between Whoopi Goldberg and Patrick Swayze. It's what can you say? I think everybody who's watched it, who's ever a Patrick Swayze fan has watched this. It's like in their top 3, top 2.
Yes, I see where you get. I'm looking at some of the screenshots of that movie. I do get where you're.
And it's probably one of the great love stories, which is weird because the person's dead. In the movie.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got a different number 1. My number 2 is Ghost.
Wow. I wonder what movie you have at number 1.
I've sniped my own cousin at number 1. That's awesome. I feel amazing.
Well, then I sniped you at number 2 because at number 2 I got Where She Shaves Her Head. I got G.I. Jane at number 2.
Well, go ahead. You guys got me sniped at number 2. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. What most people don't realize is the person who's who is the instructor at Sears School is Viggo Mortensen from Lord of the Rings, Aragorn, and I didn't realize that until after I watched it. After I watched G.I. Jane, after watching Lord of the Rings for like the 13th millionth time. So yeah. Peter Jackson's got about $85,000 out of me.
Yeah. Well, again, number 1 to me is a Demi Moore classic. Ghost. I mean that cast there too. Like you said, Patrick Swayze, Whoopi, her. I mean, just the story, like you said, love story where one of the characters is portrayed as dead. During the movie. So,
right, exactly.
Yeah. So no, that's a good one. All right, so let's go to Debbie's ex-husband, I guess. Bruce Willis, who, as y'all know, is not doing good. I don't think he can speak anymore. If I
No, he
remember
can't
right.
speak anymore.
Yeah, that's
Well, now would be the time to if this would be the time now to get him to do an interview
yeah,
for us.
yeah. That would be something. I would still try to do an interview and have
shit.
somebody speak for him.
Easily. I
Yeah.
would easily do it. You know who would do the speaking would be his daughter, Rumor. So
Yep.
yeah, I would have no question, arguments
yeah.
there.
So, do what you gotta do, Bruce. This is. I mean, he's definitely done tons of movies. God, I got to double up. That's why
I
I'm
have
thinking.
no double ups. I have no double ups.
Yeah. I'm going to go 4, but I can honestly see a fit. I can see 5 here. I mean, but he's done a lot, so
I don't think we're getting 5.
we're probably not. But all right, so I kick it off.
4's pushing it before 5 is the.
Yeah, 5. 4 with the double up is what, or else I'd probably go 3 for a good one.
I'm saying
We
3.
brought this movie up a couple times with a couple other actresses. Again, it's something that if you could find the potion or whatever, I think a lot of people would do it. I think I would, just to kind of see how the world turns. My number 5 is Death Becomes Her.
Yeah, we're not getting 4.
All right.
My
number 5.
My number 5. I love this movie because he plays opposite of Richard Gere. I love this. And it's Bruce Willis playing the bad guy, and I think that's amazing. And you got a little bit part for Jack Black in the movie too, where Jack Black plays a weapons fabricator and makes a 50 cal for Bruce Willis's character, whose name is the title in the movie. And he sights the 50 cal in and he shoots Jack Black and just fills him full of 50 cal. I think it's a great movie. Richard Gere plays an former Irish IRA guy. It's fun. To me, it's fun. It's real serious. Wife hasn't watched it though yet, but I'm going to because she likes Bruce Willis, and this is just as Bruce Willis at his best. My number 5 is The Jackal.
Okay. All right. Yeah, 4 is going to be looking. So my number 4 is a movie. Again, Bruce Willis kind of plays the bad guy in this one. His counterpart is Matthew Perry is in it.
That wasn't really a bad guy.
No, it wasn't. But he wasn't a good guy either. He was maybe just the guy. I don't know.
He was an assassin. Wasn't he a mafia assassin that was in hiding?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So my number 4 is The Whole 9 Yards.
Did you ever watch The Whole 10 Yards?
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah. You're number 4.
I forgot about that movie. Ooh, I forgot about my number 4. I'm looking at Teresa's list going, I forgot a movie on that list.
Well, it has. I didn't forget about one of. I didn't forget about 2 of them. I just honestly never.
Yeah, we're not getting 4. As soon as you said that, we're not getting 2 of them.
All right, number 4.
My number 4 is a kind of a callback from. It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. We all know what M. Night Shyamalan does. You know, he's a guy who puts in twists and turns in every movie. This is the only movie that actually has 2 sequels to it. When you find out that his character is actually a superhero and Samuel L. Jackson's character is the supervillain by the name of Mr. Glass, which is technically the 3rd movie in this trilogy. But I can't say the trilogy. Well, technically, he's in the second one too. He's in Split. at the end because he goes up and has it's a different story, but you find out that he's a man who is sought out by Samuel L. Jackson's character, and he's talks about him being the opposite of Samuel L. Jackson's character. My number 4 is Unbreakable.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna we'll get a couple, I think. My number 3, we brought it up earlier. Again, you know, I mean, what can we say about this cast of this movie with John Travolta? I got Pulp Fiction.
Well, it's not C2C unless we're sniping. This is where I get smoked again, folks. This is just so you know. My number 3 is your number 3. When you see a cast like this that's in Pulp Fiction, it's crazy. Uma Thurman. Shoot, the names are just Ving Rhames. It's crazy, and Bruce Willis basically has a throwaway character, and it's still so big. And the thing is, when you find out that Quentin Tarantino wrote the character specifically for Bruce Willis, it's just and it's a throwaway character. It really is a throwaway character in the movie.
My number 2, again, brought it up. Again, starring John Travolta. Look Who's Talking. I think it's just a good movie overall where they, got good characters to play the baby. So, your number 2.
My number 2, I'm wishing I had my number 1 at number 2 at this point because you're going to snipe me at number 1. Mine, and the funny thing is, I don't have 2 of these on. I don't have 2 of Teresa's on my list, period. And I should be shot for it because I completely forgot about Armageddon, and I don't know why I wasn't thinking Sixth Sense. But it's not C2. I'll double check. Hold on. Well, I'm gonna do it for Teresa. It's not C2C unless we're sniping. My number 2 is Teresa's number 3. I love Fifth Element. To me, I think it's got such a great another one that's got a great cast. You've got Bruce Willis, but you also got Mila Jovovich. You've got Tommy Lester. You've got it's to me it's I love, and Chris Tucker. Absolutely brilliant. I love the soundtrack. To me, if I were to die tomorrow, I want the soundtrack, the Fifth Element, to be played at my funeral. I love that. It's a altogether complete movie for me.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, number 1, I got 2. Teresa got me with Armageddon. I think that is just again, I've seen the movie, not my type of movie, but Bruce Willis in that movie is great. I think the story is great in that one. And then, of course, how can you not do Die Hard, the series of movies? So, Tim?
Well, it's not C2C unless we're sniping, because we all know that Tim doesn't have the Sixth Sense in Armageddon, because I've already said that. My number 1 is your number 1. First 2 movies are the greatest Christmas movies in the entirety of the world. I say that because I get the shake of the head every time from you. So it'll always be my greatest Christmas movies. Again, Samuel L. Jackson in the third one. Samuel L. Jackson shows up in the third one and is like, to me, I love the movies. I think they're great. It's sad that we're not going to get another one. Even when they brought in an actor who plays his daughter and an actor who plays his son, we're still never going to get another Die Hard. Yeah, it's tough. Die Hard is the greatest 2 Christmas movies ever.
Whatever that. And I read it on the plot, and it actually is Christmas Eve that it goes on.
Yeah, but the second one is on Christmas.
Oh, is it on Christmas? Yeah.
And it's filmed in. And the funny thing is, the second one is filmed in the UP.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, All right. So let's get into our over actors and actresses. Overrated.
We're whoever's gonna watch this, tag them because they're gonna hate some of us here.
Oh yeah. So we did them together. So I got a couple of double ups because I actually did them separate. So I'm kind of moving them, rearranging some of my lists. So
No, I get it.
but we'll let you go with your first, your number 5 overrated actor or actress.
Oh my gosh. My number 5 my number 5 is a son of an actor who for the longest period of time his dad could do no wrong. Everything he touched was turned into gold. And I thought he was such a great actor when he starred opposite his dad in The Pursuit of Happiness. And then all of a sudden the wheels fell off. What? And it's like, okay, we're gonna do the Karate Kid with this kid, and yet they were smart enough not to put this kid in the second in Karate Kid Legends, which means they knew what was going on in there. And they didn't do Earth. What was it, After Earth either? I can't. I don't get it. They're riding off his dad's name. Kid does not have talent. Hell, his sister doesn't have talent. But my number 5 is Jaden Smith.
My Aunt Terry would be very upset with you right now. I don't know, but
why?
Well, because it's Will Smith. You're picking out Will Smith, so
I picked his kid.
My number 5, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with a lady. Oh, God, she's been in some movies, but I think everybody knows her more for her music side of things. Again, I think a lot of times she gets casted just because of her looks. I'm going number 5, Beyonce.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jennifer Lopez.
All right, you're number 4.
My number 4. Oh, when your first kiss is Brad Pitt. I liked her as a child actor. I thought she was good, and then all of a sudden I started watching her, and it just seemed like it went downhill. When the peak of your career is kissing Brad Pitt at 13, it's kind of weird. I hope this doesn't get back to her. I think her husband's a better actor than she is. Jesse Plemons is a good actor. I think Jesse Plemons is going to be a big star in this business. But when you go to watch, what is it, Spider-Man 3, and you watch the entire cast look like they're reading their cast from cue cards, it's just not fun to watch. But you look at it, and it just seems like there's no, it seems like she's phoning it in everything she does. She's probably a great actress, but she phones it in every time she does everything. My number 4 is Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah. At number 4, I got 2.
Yes.
Both bald guys.
Here comes Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson. Rock on. Really?
Yes. At number 4, I like them both too, but I just think, Vin Diesel at the time was one of those guys that if you needed a bad guy or a big guy, he was it. Rock is just in everything right now. And I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I just think a lot of people are just
they're pushing him too hard. He's going to become stale, and then it's not going to be fun anymore.
Yeah, so Rock and Vin Diesel at number 4. Good call.
Jeez, that was pure accident.
Your number 4.
My number 3. Was it? Yeah, my number 3. My number 3. We kind of jokingly brought it up when you were talking about Cameron Diaz in that movie you were talking about in Vegas. And to me, I can't. Another one where I just don't understand it. I think he was good on that 70s show, and I think he should have never should have gotten away from TV. And they saw the hot commodity in what he was doing on that 70s show, and I think he might be in bigger hot water now with everything going on with Mr. Combs. And we get that news over here about Puff Daddy. So yeah, so my number 3 might have a little problem because he may be a little complicit in what went on. I don't get what he. I think that there was a fact is that he was an underwear model. You know, he saw Mark Wahlberg do it, and then all of a sudden, you know, Mark Wahlberg is a generational talent, and this guy not so much. My number 3 is the former Mr. Demi Moore himself, Ashton Kutcher.
My number 3 is a guy who I've seen him in a lot of movies, and I don't know. I just don't get his acting. That's one, Ben Affleck.
I like Ben. Jackson's going to take care of my light work later, so I know. And the thing is, it was funny because I watched like 2 movies with Ben Affleck this weekend. The thing is, and I get it. You know, because Ben Affleck has this air about him where he's very, very prima donna like, where he thinks he's better than everybody, and it's like, God, you seem like you were born in Manchester, Massachusetts, as if you were the God's gift. And remember, your only Oscar came from a screenwrite.
Yep. Your number 2.
My number 2. I don't know if this woman has shown back up and has had a career basically since Transformers, except for being married to one guy who pretends to be a wrestler, and then he's thinner than a corn stalk, and it's crazy. And why Machine Gun Kelly? Why would you want to get into a rap beef with freaking Eminem? That by itself is stupid. I don't overrated, and I think Hollywood has pretty much agreed with me on this. My number 2 is Megan Fox.
Oh yeah. All right, where am I at? Number 2, funny guy.
Adam Sandler.
No, he's not overrated. This guy is though. But I mean, he comes up kind of like with The Rock. He's almost in everything Rock does. My number 2 is Kevin Hart.
Oh my God, yeah, he was great when he was by himself. He was amazing when he was by himself. When he was doing buddy cop movies with Ice Cube, I think he was better.
Yeah. All right, you're number 1.
Well, I'm gonna get a snipe here. I already know it because I don't know who in the world. Oh man, this is the guy who was rumored at one point to be in the running to play Anakin Skywalker. And I thought this would be a great idea. And then I realized he's a lot like Ben Affleck, where the guy thinks he's God's gift to Hollywood. I don't get it. I don't get him. I think his best time was when he was on Growing Pains. To me, I don't get it. I just don't get it. My number 1 is the un-Italian stallion himself, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, I hate to disappoint you.
You don't have it number 1.
I don't have him on there because the thing is, it's kind of like the Joe Mauer syndrome. You know, I got to give him respect for his talent and stuff. Yes, his ego drives me crazy. I loved him in Growing Pains. I loved him. You know, it was just when he started getting older, he's
my age. That's the sad thing.
He got compared to Jack Nicholson a lot and started dressing like him in all black, and it's just like, you know. But my number 1, I got 2 of them.
Bill Cosby.
You actually mentioned the lady earlier, thinking that's who I picked. My number 1 for the female is Jennifer Lopez. My number 1, Brad Pitt. I just think he's just. I love his acting, but it's just like he's got to have that role. He's got to, you know. I think his actor or his character in Moneyball is how he portrays his life.
See, Cody gets it. Cody absolutely gets gets the whole Jennifer Lopez.
Coach Cody's checking in. How's it going, buddy? So all right. So let's go to one of our final two categories. Let's go into underrated actors and actresses. So my number 5, a lady I loved when she was younger, and I think she's just getting more gorgeous as she's getting older. And one of my top 10 for sure hall passes, Alyssa Milano.
Okay, thank God. You're going to say Jessica Alba, and my wife is going to want me to never talk to you again.
As an underrated actress, I think they could do more with her. I mean, she was actually good in Charmed too. I love that TV show.
I loved her on Who's the Boss. I think she was. I think her perfect timing was on Who's the Boss.
And actually, my ex would be shocked if I said that, because I just couldn't sit up there and watch it with her and her dad and mom. They used to watch that all the time, but it was actually a pretty good show. So you're number 5.
My number 5. I'm a bit of a Game of Thrones kind of guy. I think this woman gets absolutely. She's starting to get some of the credit that she deserves. She played the villain in Dredd, not the Judge Dredd movie with Stallone, but the Dredd movie with Carl Urban. She played Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. She plays Leonidas' wife in the 300. She just gets, I think, and she's in the first Purge, and I think she gets absolutely no credit. And it's because she's got the skills, she's got everything. My number 5 is Lena Headey.
Okay. My number 4, at one time, I think early 2000s, I think he was one of those that if you had the pretty boy, you needed him as an actor. And I think he's kind of fallen off. Even his wife has fallen off the face of the earth, but he's actually showing up on some documentaries on wrestling side because he's a big wrestling fan. My number 4 is Freddie Prinze Jr.
I love Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah,
Absolutely love Freddie Prinze.
And I love Sarah Michelle Gellar too. So
they're so underrated.
They are
incredibly underrated.
They are. Your number 4.
My number 4 is a guy who's just now really starting to get pushed. I thought he should have got pushed after he did American Outlaws, playing Jesse James. It's amazing to see him work. He did SWAT opposite Jeremy Renner. He's played in the Showtime series, The Penguin. Just funny. I think he's more in the news now because his son is sick with a pretty debilitating disease. I think this is a guy who can't do any wrong, and he used to be one of those bad boys that got himself into trouble, but he's learned to get himself out of it. And he's just flying high, and he's getting everything that he deserves, but he needs more. My number 4 is Colin Farrell.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. My number 3, you kind of threw him out there earlier in a movie, getting blown up or shot at. I know he's done movies here and there, but I just think should be in more, especially comedy movies. I think his current movie is Minecraft. Jack Black.
I saw it. Minecraft is so awesome, dude. I gotta send you a video about where they do babies about lava chicken, where they're Jack Black. The look on baby Jack Black's face as they're talking about lava chicken.
Yeah.
It to me is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, but I think they could do more with him in the world.
Yeah, they need he can do so much, and him doing Nacho Libre to me, I thought was brilliant.
Yes, that was a good one. All right, you're number 3.
My number 3, she's again. I'm bringing up people that are starting to come into their own. My wife absolutely loves this woman because she did 2 really amazing movies that were directed and written by her husband, John Krasinski. But and it's a good horror film. And I know I just got done watching the A Quiet Place, the first day or something. I can't quite remember. But she plays opposite of Tom Cruise in The Edge of Tomorrow, and she plays, and you're gonna realize who I say this is as soon as you're gonna go. You're not gonna like this, but I think she plays Mary Poppins in the sequel to Mary Poppins.
Okay.
I think she needs to be doing more. I think they don't do enough with her. My number 3 is Emily Blunt.
I can't say no, can't say yes. I mean, I gotta watch more of her stuff. I wasn't a fan of Mary Poppins Returns. I'm not gonna, so. My number 2, another female that, yeah, she does movies, and yeah, she was just in probably one of the greatest TV series, this generation has seen. I just think they need to do more with her. Maybe she's kind of stepped away herself. I don't know. But we all refer to her as Mrs. Brad Pitt. I have Jennifer Aniston.
I'm going to say Angelina Jolie. No. You said Mrs. Brad Pitt, and I'm going, no, that's not right. That can't be right. It can't be right.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston. They
you need to watch her. You need to watch her in Bad Bosses, and it was because, holy hell, it's the fun one. It's her and Colin Farrell. Matter of fact, her, Colin Farrell, and Kevin Spacey are in the first one. It's to me, I think it's brilliant.
Okay, definitely have to watch that one. So, your number 2.
My number 2. What can you say that this guy needs to be in front of the camera more? I think this guy shouldn't be doing as much motion capture stuff as he does. It's amazing because right now he's the king of motion capture, but this guy is an amazing actor, and to do what he does in motion capture work it's amazing, but he gets absolutely zero credit for what else he does. He's played in so many different Peter Jackson things. He's played in King Kong opposite Jack Black, where he plays the captain of the ship that takes him to Skull Island, but he also plays King Kong. He's been in the Lord of the Ring movies where he's been Smeagol, but he's also played Gollum. He's gone and done he's been in the newest Planet of the Apes series. This guy, but the only time you ever see his face is when he's playing Claw in playing Colonel Claw in the Black Panther movie, but nobody ever remembers him in 13 going on 30 opposite Jennifer Gardner. This guy is, to me, so unrecognized. My number 2 is Andy Serkis.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of you said 13 going on 30. I'm like, dude, that actor's not alive anymore, because I was thinking of the
Matthew
basketball movie. I was thinking of Matthew Perry when they go back and
right.
Yeah. So yeah, 13 going. Yeah, no, that's a good call. I like that one here. My number 1. Speaking of someone that plays they go back in time. Matthew Perry's movie. This guy, I know some people are gonna say he's all over the place. He was early 2000s. I still think they could use him. I think haven't seen him. I saw him in Baywatch. I think that's the last movie I've actually seen him in. But I enjoyed the cast and everything in the High School Musical movies. Baywatch.
You saw him in Iron Claw.
Yep, Iron Claw. Yes. He portrayed a good Von Erich. My number 1 is Zac Efron.
Yeah, I like Zac Efron. But my number 1 is not Zac Efron. I think my number 1 is a guy who is considered probably the greatest villain actor in the entire world. He's played anywhere between It get no recognition. Underappreciated. You got this guy who's played both the old Dracula and the young Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula. You have him playing a terrorist, a Russian terrorist on Air Force One. You have this guy. You have him playing Winston Churchill. You have him playing Sirius Black in Harry Potter. I love him, and he's in Friends. He is in Friends, by the way. When Ross and I think it's when Monica and Chandler get married, and he's working opposite of Joey Tribbiani in a movie about World War II.
Yep.
This guy gets, this guy. It's crazy. This guy should be recognized as one of the greatest living actors ever, and he's not. My number one is Gary Oldman.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good pull. Yeah. Even in that, if I haven't seen him in other movies or recognized him, to do what he did in Friends was a good one. So
you need to look up. You want to look up a video. Look up a video on YouTube. Anybody who's watching, look up the YouTube on video about Stephen Colbert interviewing Gary Oldman and about having inappropriate spots of farts in his scenes. Oh my Lord. Gary Oldman just dies laughing. He absolutely loves it. This is a guy who doesn't take his stuff seriously.
All right.
It's amazing.
All right. So let's get into our favorite category of the night. I definitely love doing these. I love watching them. Again, saw this idea on TikTok and Instagram. I'm just like, we got to pull this in. So we got our blind five. So Tim, I'm going to let you go because I got a good one. I think you'll enjoy it. So give me your blind five for me.
All right. We're big wrestling fans, and I know Jackson's a wrestling fan too. So I might add him into this.
All right.
I've seen a couple of these things live, so I'm not really too shocked. But I want your ranking of the top 5 items used in a hardcore match.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. The first one is the announce table.
2.
I gotta go 5 just because it's used all the time.
Okay, so we got 2 and 5.
So
we got 2 and 5. Okay, cool. The barbed wire baseball bat.
4.
Ooh. See, me and Jackson are going to be opposite ends of this one. I'm going to go barbed wire bat on 2.
Okay. It's amazing. Thumbtacks.
Oh, I cringe
5.
every time. No, that's a 1 for me. That just cringes every time.
What was Jackson's?
He said 5.
5.
I'm going 1.
I don't like thumbtack.
All right. So we're going to use Gold Dust's favorite item that he's used in a hardcore match during the Hollywood Backlawn match, a car.
1.
Yeah, that's
I think that's
a 4. That's lame. I mean,
1, 2.
I got 3.
5.
I got 3.
Your 3 is a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
I would have put that at 5.
Yeah, that's a good 3. I mean, when I think of hardcore matches, you go to Mick Foley where he always pulls out a barbed wire, something or another.
Right.
He always pulls out the tacks. The car is, that was a good one. But and then the announce table. I mean, they're using tables now for almost
Yeah,
everything.
it seems like they use it every time. But now, if we would have brought this up in like the 90s, where the table wasn't used all the time,
I'd probably put it up at number 3. I'd probably move stuff down 1. But I mean, yeah, tacks and mats are, especially barbed wire. Yeah, that's.
well, the thumbtacks always make me cringe. But
Yeah, I mean, just look at AEW where whatever they use stuck inside Moxley.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially that kendo stick that
Yeah.
Penta put in him.
Yeah. So, all right. So my blind fire for you. We're coming up on football season. OTAs are starting. Mini camps are getting going.
Okay.
I got the top 5 teams, in my opinion, are going to be teams that we're going to be watching closely, and most of it might be just in the preseason. I am going to go, and I'll give my reason why I put these on the list. So my first team for you, Tim, is the Vikings, and it's mainly just because I want to see what J.J. McCarthy does.
I want to see what JJ does too. That's the thing. I think 2 isn't bad. I think 2 is a good spot for that.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Commanders, and I want to see if Jaden Daniels can break the curse of the sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump.
Yeah.
Who did they pick up? They picked up
They picked up somebody from the Niners, a receiver.
Was that Debo? Did they get Debo Samuel?
I think they did. I think they got Debo. Let me.
I'm not worried that much about the Commanders. I think 4 for the Commanders.
Okay. Let me see here, because we were debating this last night on a break that. Let's see here. Did he? Yeah, he's with the Commanders right now, coming out. Yeah, he got traded. Yep. So I think that's going to be huge if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
All right, you said 4? All right.
4.
The next team is, because they're going to have some controversy, because it doesn't look like they're going to be able to move their pricey quarterback, Atlanta Falcons, and how Penix does, and if Cousins gets some playing time if he stays there.
Penix ain't getting. I think that's a 5. I think that's a pretty lost cause.
All right. The Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles, and mainly I just kind of want. I'm going to keep my eyes on them. One, because got a good offense, but I want to see if Barkley gets over 2,000 this year.
I think that's a 3.
Okay.
I think I know where you're at number 1.
Okay, where do you think I'm at for number 1?
Cleveland.
Yep.
Because of that shit show in the quarterback room.
Exactly. That is exactly why. It's just who's going to come out as the number 1. Where's Shedeur Sanders going to be?
I truthfully don't think Shedeur Sanders gets out of training camp on that team. I don't
know. And the sad thing is, if he doesn't, you're going to hear his dad, your favorite player, barking up a storm and try to do more legal stuff.
He can do whatever he wants. It ain't gonna. His kid's old enough now.
But again, too. I mean, the Browns cut him. It's nothing to them. They didn't lose a big pick on him. It was a lose-lose, or
it's a win-win. It's a win-win. You got a guy supposedly. You got a guy who's supposedly a first-round talent in the 5th round.
Yep.
And then you've got Dylan Gabriel, who's more of a. To be honest, Dylan Gabriel is more of a lose-lose than Shedeur Sanders being a win-win in the 5th round.
I had them number 1. I just, and that one I think is going to be more settled in minicamp and preseason than it is going to be during the season.
I'll be honest.
If Shedeur Sanders makes it on the roster, then you're looking at a season thing where, okay, when's he going to get in? How bad do they have to be? Is he going to be the week 1 starter? A lot of people think that, just because the Browns are going to do it, they're going to make him the week 1 starter.
The problem is you've got a quarterback in Flacco who knows how to run that offense and run it well.
Yeah,
it's difficult. I'm surprised you didn't have the Steelers on that list.
Yeah, again, this was one. It was one that, granted, if I would have done this list today, I would have had him on there because of the Rodgers signing. But when this show was originally scheduled, he wasn't there yet, so I wasn't going to change.
That's true too.
Well, yeah, Steelers are another team that are going to be up there. Dallas definitely is going to be up there because a lot of people are thinking that Dak struggles, Milton's going to be the guy.
I completely agree on that. I think Milton's could sneak in. He could be the Purdy on that team, just sneak in by accident.
So, all right. Well, with that being said, you got any final thoughts, Tim?
No. It's funny that you brought up that football season's coming soon. I'm going to tell you right now that the next are going to deal with football.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait. But yeah. So that being said, keep checking us out, C2C, throughout the week. Entertainment Hour. We got Between the Ropes. Hopefully, we bring some other shows back. I know we're behind the scenes trying to get some guys to come back and get going. On Deck's going to be coming up soon, or not on? Yeah, on Deck. Morning Tailgate. With football season coming up. Cody, who chimed in, coach of the St. Paul Bears Arena League. We're planning on doing a show coming up. One's going to probably be live at the practice facility. I just have to see if I can squeeze it in my work day to get off early. Definitely watch that. Get ready for their season. My plan is also to be there for their home opener. I think it's sometime in August, so do a live feed there. But with that being said, check us out, and we'll see what next week brings with the football season that Tim just kind of alluded to. So we'll see y'all next week on C2C Rankem. Have a good one.